concerns about the fire encroaching upon practice this morning.
Yeah, well, not just practice, just anybody in general who's in harm's way. So we're always cognizant of where they are. And we get a reading from the university on air quality, and they tell us what level it is. And can we train outside or not train outside? So we monitor that all the time.
And the projections are it should be okay for
today, yeah. So we'll take it as it goes.
You had some pretty significant injuries in that game. Is there any update on Dorian?
No, they said he should be able to go today, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, wow. What about Sean Ryan was hurt in that game?
May have just been in and out, but he's fine.
He's fine. And Kyle Phillips?
He should be going today. We'll see what goes on with him.
And then Chris Barnes got hurt at one
Good
point.
to go.
So everybody's pretty good?
Pretty good from what they say, so we'll see what they can get through in practice today. I don't know if they'll go through the whole practice, but it sounds like everybody's going to try to go today. So.
You were up by 32 points when Dorian took off on that play. Is it maybe having a quarterback run with that big of a lead?
No, it was a read, when he made the right read. And then one thing we try to preach is, all the time with our quarterbacks is that, your concept is touchdown, first down, get down. So, maybe he took off a little bit more than he could. We'll talk to him a little bit about that. But he made the proper read on the play. And, you got to learn how to. You got to protect yourself when you get out into the open field, and it's a learning process for all quarterbacks. And he's done a pretty good job of it so far this year. And we got to continue to coach up.
Would there have gotten to a point in that game where he would have come out because you had such a big lead, or would you?
Yeah, but I mean, at that point we hadn't had it yet. So, and Arizona State was putting a little bit of stuff together on their side of the ball. So, the game again really wasn't in check until the final whistle went off. So.
Paul Rhodes seems to be pretty demonstrative on the sidelines. Is his role changing? Is he becoming more involved with the defensive play calls or anything?
No.
Same
Same status since we've been here. So okay. Paul's always been a demonstrative guy. That's one thing I love about him. He's a great teacher, very passionate about the game of football, and that's just Paul coaching. And Paul coaching is awesome.
It seems like you ran out of the pistol a little bit more against Arizona State. Was that because of something they showed you, or was that more to hide the inside zone read?
It was just, part of the game plan that we felt going into the game was going to give us the best opportunity against that defense. So, just something that we've run during the year, and we featured it a little bit more in that game just because it's part of the plan this week.
Are you emphasizing smaller guys up front defensively a little bit more, maybe to get a little more quickness in there?
No, it's really you're just trying to match what you're playing. You know what I mean? So, there are a lot of teams that are spreading people out a lot more. So you got to get more speed on the field. As they put speed on the field, you put speed on the field. When they go big, you go big. That's been football since it started. I think everybody kind of does it the same way. So, when you spread people out, then they have to spread out with you. If they don't, then people are uncovered. But you don't want to put a 250-pound guy out over a 170-pound slot player because there's a mismatch from an athletic standpoint. So, it's just really depending on the teams we play and how they deploy their personnel is how we deploy our personnel.
What went into the decision-making of using Kazmir Allen and Martell Irby, especially in the receiving game?
That they were available. So they hadn't been available up until this game. So, Kaz was out and Irby was returning from injury. So they weren't eligible or available for us to play in the last game. So, it was just that they've played and they've contributed before and have earned playing time. And now, Kaz is available now and Irb's back healthy. So. It wasn't like we weren't playing Martell because we didn't want to play Martell. It was that Martell was hurt. So.
This is kind of second year where you've gotten to this point of the season, the team has really kind of gone on that nice upward trajectory. I guess the question is, this year you had, I believe, 10 returning starters on defense and 8 on offense. So I guess the question is, what kind of took so long to get here this year? I know last year was your first year. But
I don't compare years to years. So. That's not something that we talk about or look at or analyze, and that's, going back and looking at last year doesn't really help us. We did that in the off season in terms of quality control work of, what fronts and blitzes and coverages do we use, what protections, runs, and pass routes do we use, and extensive quality control work in the off season. But then once you get moving into this season, we haven't really visited out in 2018 year at all. So
all right. Well, let's take this year by itself. What took you so long to get here this year?
We play quality football teams.
Yeah.
I think you just can't write the narrative before the season starts. I don't know how you can even think that way. That's just kind of preposterous. You don't give any credit to the other teams that you play. I know the 3 teams we opened the season with right now all have 1 loss and are ranked in the top 25. So I would take our out-of-conference schedule and compare it to anybody else in the league and says ours is more difficult than theirs. So maybe if we played easier teams before we got into league play, then our record would be different. But I don't look at it that way or compare it that way or say how come it took a while to get going. Is that every season expresses itself in a different manner. You know, we do have a lot of younger players playing. You know, Sean Ryan didn't play last year. Duke Clemens didn't play last year. You know, there's Jalen Irwin's new to us. You know, you lost Theo Howard, you lost Quentin Lake, you lost a lot of kids that played a lot of football for us. And you know, how do you replace those guys, and how do those other guys, you know, continue to grow as a group? And you know, we're looking forward to playing Colorado. So take your view of what the whole season looks like. It'll be a waste of time.
What's the status on Javari Anderson? Haven't really seen him.
Javari is out right now. So hopefully he doesn't come back. Right now he's out this week. So.
Is it an injury?
Yeah.
Did you? I'm sure you did relook at that targeting call. What was your opinion when you looked at it the second time?
The officials called targeting, and he's going to have to sit for the first half of the Colorado game.
Right, but did you feel that was?
I'm not allowed
call?
to feel, so can't comment on officiating.
It looked like Mafi was going to run on the field for an offensive play at one point. Do you have a package for him?
No, I don't think Mafi was running on the field for an offensive play. He's on our extra point team, so we may have been going to kick a field goal or kicking an extra point. Neil's been on our extra point team and field goal team for the entire fraction for 2 years now. So I don't know if maybe that's what you saw when we were going to kick an extra point or a field goal.
I think you were kind of in a goal line situation.
So were we kicking?
No. And then he came back off, but I thought maybe.
So if we're not kicking, then Neil shouldn't be on the field. So that's probably why he came back off.
What do you say to a player like Jay Shaw when it looks like he makes a good play, but unfortunately it turns out to be, you know, targeting call and he has to leave?
Yeah, that's just part of the rules. You know, if that's what the call is. It doesn't matter if we agree with the call or disagree with the call. That's what the call is. So you live with the call. I mean, that's life. You can go out on the highway and say you're not speeding. If the officer that pulls you over say you are speeding, you're going to get a ticket. You can argue it all you want, but it doesn't matter. You know, so that's part of the process that we go through. And the rule for targeting is that you sit the remainder of that game and you sit the first half of this game, and that's what Jay has to do. So.
Is there an appeals process for that?
No, not that I know.
Thank you.
Thank you.